So there's a politician running against Bonnie Crombie in the Toronto area who is saying that we should lower the voting age to 16. But yeah, there's more to this story than meets the eye. So he's saying that they should lower it to 16. Now, we all know that you can't even get a tattoo. You can't even be tried as an adult for murdering a 70-year-old in Toronto. If you're under 16, you can't drive on your own. You can't vote at the moment. You can't even have an alcoholic drink. There's so many things you can't do at the age of 16. Yet this guy says that, oh yeah, we should get the vote. But just have a listen to what the guy was saying on 6:40 a.m. about why he's pushing this forward.
I think the only way to make it make sense is to consider who it's coming from. And that is mainly Nate Erskin Smith, who has been the Liberal Member of Parliament for Beaches, East York, for a number of years. Mm-hmm. And he was kicked out of the Liberal cabinet by Mark Carney. He was briefly the Minister of Housing under Justin Trudeau, and he's unhappy. You may famously recall him saying he was disrespected by the Prime Minister taking him out of his cabinet. Everybody knows that Prime Ministers are allowed to decide who's in their cabinet. That's right. So I think Nate wants to challenge Bonnie Crombie. Well, actually, I know Nate wants to challenge Bonnie Crombie, and he's trying to get publicity any way he can. And this week he's doing the petition about lowering the voting age. Last week he was attacking his own government for pushing through C5. I think he's trying to get attention so he can go after Bonnie Crombie.
It's shenanigans, isn't it? It's the government playing games again, or not the government, but MPs playing games. And is that all they do in Canada? Just play games? Like, there's no way you would give it. Well, okay, the UK have given 16-year-olds the vote, and Carney loves the UK and Europe. Wants to move Canada there. Apparently, wants to dig it up and put it in Europe. Well, if you could, he would. If you could tow Canada to Europe and stick it next to Ireland, he'd do that. I bet, because that's his home, really, isn't it? That's where he loves to be, Europe, and that's why he's so into Europe. Anyway, he goes on to say this.
I think it's a cynical, calculated move to get attention, and because this has been attempted before in the House of Commons, as you know, mm-hmm. and it failed dramatically. The majority had the same view that you have expressed, which is no way. That's crazy. Other jurisdictions around the world that have tried this have realized they've made a mistake. And, I think Nate knows that too. I think he's being cynical, but he's not stupid. He's trying to attract attention. And so, I guess we're giving him some attention now. But I think his ultimate goal is to take out Bonnie Crombie. She beat him for the leadership of the Ontario Liberal Party last time. Mm-hmm. And he was unhappy about that. He's unhappy about being out of cabinet. And now he's coming after her and trying to get his name in the paper in any way that he can.
So what do you think anyway? Even though it is BS, what he's saying, and he's just doing it to get the headlines, well, not like we spread very far other than a couple of thousand views. But yeah, he's getting headlines like on the radio station and on the TV, and it's making headlines, and his name's getting out there, isn't it? Although I'm not going to mention his name because it's annoying. So yeah, his name's getting out there, and he's after winning against Bonnie Crombie in the Liberal elections, for the Liberals, because he was kicked out of being the leader, wasn't he? And kicked out of Carney's caucus, like you said. So he was kicked out of everything. So he wants to make a name for himself. But what do you think? Do you think we should give the vote to 16-year-olds? Do you think they could do it? I think no. I think they're too indoctrinated by what school's telling them. And if college and school has got anything to do with the way that somebody would vote, then yeah, they're going to teach them to vote Labour, aren't they? Because Labour. And if anything's taught us anything, the schools are more liberal than most things. We have that other flag that they fly all the time at the schools, and people indoctrinating children into all sorts of things, and you know, men in dresses reading books in schools and libraries, and yeah, we've got all that going on in the schools, and you want the run up to an election for the teachers to tell the children who to vote for at 16, and they don't leave school till they're like 18, do they? Yeah, how's that going to work out?